Hi everybody, Ruth Rumack here, founder and executive director of education at Ruth Rumack's Learning Space, and I've got some back to school tips for you. We're doing a series of 5, and this is number 1, getting back into it, effective routines. One of the most important things about an effective routine is doing the same task in the same order each day. And you might be thinking to yourself, we have been out of routine for so long, how am I possibly going to get myself or the kids back into a routine? But it is possible, and I'm going to tell you how. So what we want to look at is creating routines for the night before school, the morning of, after school, and before bed. And if we can keep these routines up, as I said, they'll become natural and they will become a part of your day. I would say to begin with, you want to create a launch pad. And a launch pad is a place in the home, preferably near your front door or the door you use most, where you are going to drop your things and the kids are going to drop their things when they come in, and it's going to be there for them when they need it to leave later in the day or the next day. And creating a launch pad can be as simple as putting a hook with a label for each person, a basket, a cubby, anything that will allow your information and your things to be contained, and that's where they will live until you need them next. Checklists, visual schedules, phone alerts, and reminders. These are things that are going to be really helpful for us in keeping us on track. We want to prepare the night before to get out the door. And that might include things like laying out your clothes the night before. You also want to go over a schedule the day before so that you can discuss any special events that are coming up. And this is going to be something that will help practice executive functioning skills and give your kids a model of how to think about their upcoming day. We also, the night before, want to pack the bag, pack up the homework, pack the computer, the extra masks that we might need, including maybe starting to get lunch together the night before so that it puts less pressure on the morning of. Put everything that you need back in that launch pad and get ready for the day so that morning comes, you can just head out the door. All right, let's talk a little bit about our morning of routines. Again, you want to use some type of a visual schedule. You can use a timed timer, which is something we love at Ruth Rumack's Learning Space. It makes things lots of fun. It actually shows time ticking away. So for kids who have difficulty understanding time and how time passes, it shows them that time is actually moving and they're getting less and less of it as the moments go on. You can use an online timer, which is also a visual timer. You can use an alert on your phone. One tip I have is perhaps putting together a playlist, and you know that playlist is 10 minutes long, and within that time frame your kids are expected to get themselves dressed or do a particular set of tasks within a time frame. Lots of fun. Music is always motivating. I would also recommend making sure that you get some breakfast in there so that our brains are focusing properly and we are in better moods. Let's talk about after school, which is another hot zone in terms of kids often forgetting things at school and not bringing them back in a way that is going to be helpful for them when they need it for homework. So you can use another visual reminder for younger kids. We could use a set of laminated cards that are attached to the backpack with a key ring. You could use, again, phone reminders and other apps like Todoist that keep your older child on track as well. And one of the things that we want to make sure is that they're bringing the right books home or they're bringing the right things home. But if you find that, the textbooks are really heavy and they don't like to bring them back and forth, it might be a good idea to have an extra set of textbooks at home as well so that they, A, don't have to worry about forgetting them, and B, don't have to worry about putting more strain on their back. All right, let's talk a little bit about once they get home, having a snack, a little bit of activity or a little bit of just, blow off steam time is always good. And I would recommend that you keep your homework sessions to the same time each day because, it becomes a habit, and it's just something that at a certain time you're going to open up your agenda or you're going to turn on the computer and look at that learning management system such as Blackboard or Google Classroom. I would really recommend investing some time as a parent into understanding how these programs work so that you can find out what your children are up to on a regular basis without having to ask them first. Here's a tip from my very smart sister. When sitting down to do the learning management systems, she creates a contact in her phone for each of her kids, and under the notes for that child includes all the IDs and passwords for all of the systems that she needs to get into, or anything that has to do with school. We've talked about the morning, we've talked about the night before, which is even more important. We've talked about after school, and I think bedtime is also time for a good routine, whether that's a little bit of quiet time before you're going to bed, shutting down all the devices, making sure that your launch pad is ready, your bag is packed, you know what you're going to have for lunch the next day. It just takes the stress out of it for the day to come. If you have any questions or any comments, please subscribe and share this information. Episode 2 is coming up tomorrow, and I'll tell you all about that then. Take care and have a great day. Happy learning!